Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, dear friends. My name is Vasyly Rohovyy. I am the hand transplant patient from Innsbruck, Austria, and the founder of the Voice of VAD Patients. Welcome to the interview. This time our guest is Miss Shreya Siddanagowder, the bilateral hand transplant recipient from India. On her way back to the college by bus in September 2016, she lost her both hands and received numerous injuries in a severe traffic incident. 11 months later, she underwent the bilateral hand transplantation at the Amrita Hospital in the city of Kochi under the leadership of Professor Subramania Iyer. Shreya's story spread around the world not only because of that unique surgery, but also because of her tremendous willpower and desire to live, despite all the trials the life sent her. Hello, Shreya. Glad to see you.
Hi, Vasyly. Good to see you as well.
Shreya, I completely understand that the memories of that tragic day in your life are still painful for you. I asked you to share your experience and your way of thinking in the hope that it will help people suffering loss or absence of an external organ to live on in spite of everything. Shreya, may I ask you about that day, please, when you regained consciousness after the double hand transplant surgery and saw your new hands for the first time? What did you think about at that moment? Could you describe your emotional state, please?
Yeah. So I had my transplant in August of 2017,
Mm-hmm.
and the surgery lasted for about 14 hours. And after another few hours is when I regained my consciousness. And when I saw my new hands for the first time, all I thought was that how grateful I was that I got another chance. I didn't have to be dependent on anyone else going ahead. And yeah, grateful for the donor and also his parents who decided to donate his organs
Mm-hmm.
post a bike accident that he'd been in, and he was declared brain dead after that.
Mm-hmm.
And his family very graciously agreed to donate most of his organs. There's a taboo when it comes to donation of hands because it's visible, right? But his parents, I mean, they were quite gracious. So I was grateful. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I felt. Gratefulness was my first feeling. And it's
Mm-hmm.
the first time.
Shreya, who brought you the hope of getting new hands? And could you tell from the psychological point of view, how important was it for you to know about this treatment? I mean, about the hand transplantation.
Yeah. So I lost both my forearms following a bus accident.
Yeah.
The accident happened in September of 2016. And after, I regained my consciousness and I was informed about the tragic amputation.
Mm-hmm.
But I honestly did not have any idea about such a surgery being in existence.
Mm-hmm.
And I was aware of, people undergoing kidney transplant, heart, or liver transplant, but
Mm-hmm.
I was not aware of hand transplant.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when my parents were searching for options. Of course, everyone is aware about prosthetic hands and legs,
Yeah.
but hand transplantation was something very new. And that's when my parents found out that this option exists. But until 2016, there were very few cases of hand transplants around the world. I guess there were just about 50 cases.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, luckily we did have one hospital doing the surgery in India, which was again Amrita Institute of Medical Sciences, and the surgery was being done under the leadership of Dr. Subramania Iyer. And till then, he had carried out three hand transplants when I first approached him in December 2016. So yeah, I met him. We had a guidance session with him and a few other people from his team. So yeah, that's where I was also introduced to the concept of being on immunosuppressants for the rest of my
Mm-hmm.
life if I was willing to undergo this surgery, the kind of care it would require, and also the commitment that it comes with, because it's a lifelong commitment. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I got to know about this surgery.
Mm-hmm. Shreya, may I ask you the next question, please? When you saw your stumps for the first time,
Mhm.
could you tell about that day in your life and uh, what did you feel at that moment when you learned that you didn't have hands anymore?
Yeah. So I actually, when the accident happened,
Mm-hmm.
I have some faint memories of it, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a complete understanding of it till date.
Yeah.
I lost my consciousness. So I don't know exactly what happened, but I do know I was taken to the hospital, and when I reached there was a severe pain in my head, and I couldn't get up. So I actually had no idea what was going down below my neck. So I think I was immediately taken to the operation theater and everything. Again, I don't have much recollection of that.
Mm-hmm.
But my parents arrived because I was traveling. They were
Mm-hmm.
in another city in my hometown, and the accident happened in another state of India. So
Mm-hmm.
they came to the hospital towards the end of the day. I still was not aware that I had lost my forearms,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, they were trying to uh, fix the left arm because it was not completely amputated, but
Mm-hmm.
within 2 days I developed fever, and it was not going down. And the last time I saw my left hand fingers is when the doctor was asking me if I had any sensation in my fingers, and they were turning blue.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I can recall. And I again had extreme fever, so again I couldn't recall much. And the next
Mm-hmm.
thing I know was I underwent another surgery. And after that, I woke up in the ICU, and that's when, like, my parents broke the news to me that so and so has happened in the accident. Both your forearms had to be amputated, and that uh, when they broke that news to me, I just couldn't say anything out of shock.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
So uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, when they, I still remember this when they told me about the amputation of forearms. Um, like I didn't speak for some time, and then when I did speak, the first question I asked was, "What about my legs?" Right? So I had
Yeah.
bandages
Yeah.
on my legs as well, and because so much was going on, it's just my body was feeling very numb. So
Mm-hmm.
I really couldn't gather what was happening either. And then my
Mm-hmm.
mom assured me that your legs are fine. It's just you've had quite
Yeah.
a lot of injuries. So they
Mm-hmm.
should be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing severe has happened.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I remember. And the next time is when almost 2 weeks later, I saw my stumps for the first time. Because
Mm-hmm.
it was a traumatic amputation, right? So
Yeah.
it was not a clear amputation. And I had to undergo skin grafting surgery, wherein, since it was a traumatic amputation, I'm sure you must be aware that they take skin from the back of your thigh, and
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
try
I
to,
forgot
yeah,
about it.
cover the
Mm-hmm.
injury. So I had to undergo that surgery. So until it was healing for a bit, 2 weeks later, when they had to do the dressing again, is when I saw my stumps for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's been almost 10 years, but I've not forgotten the sight of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It just broke my heart,
Yeah.
to put it in simpler words. I mean, uh, to see that sight where every day I was used to waking up with my arms right in their place, but that was not the case anymore. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, after the surgery, anything looks pretty bad, right? So it just made things even more worse. And I
Mm-hmm.
just had like some scabs of skin fall off when they took off the dressing. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's a bit too graphic, but
Yeah.
I think the audience should understand that it was a very heartbreaking sight.
Yeah.
And yeah, is
Yeah.
not something I really liked looking at. And
Yeah.
also in the initial 1 month, I preferred that, I used to have those bandages on because I didn't want to look at it
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's when the reality hits you harder.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Understand. Yeah.
that's how it was.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. I had the same feelings. Yeah.
Yeah.
After. Yeah. Shreya, we people who suffered the loss of an external organ have to face not only psychological problems, how to live with such a disabled body, but also have to deal with personal hygiene on a daily basis. May I ask you to tell our viewers, please, about your experience with prosthesis, both positive and negative? Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
So when I met Dr. Iyer,
Mhm.
so the accident happened in September, and in
Yeah.
December the same year, I went and met him for the first time. And I was just 18 when all of this had
Yeah.
happened, so I was pretty young. And that time, I mean, the age to even go for the surgery was 18 because of the growth factors involved. So when I met him, he did suggest me that, if you once get this surgery done, there's no going back,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
with prosthetics, it's like his suggestion was to try it out,
Mm-hmm.
to give it a good try, and then think if I should be opting for the hand transplant. And also it makes more sense because rather than going for a permanent solution, it he was of the opinion that try it out,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and let's see how it goes. And I did try. I tried two kinds of prosthetics.
Mm-hmm.
10 years ago, the myoelectric prosthetics were quite famous. But there was something called as mechanical prosthetics as well, which you use your shoulders to, control the opening and closing of the forearm. I mean, the fingers, right, of the
Mm-hmm.
prosthetics. So I used them first, and I absolutely did not like them.
Mm-hmm.
They were heavy
Mm-hmm.
and very unwieldy in nature. I was not able to do any work.
Mm-hmm.
uh, it just added to my pain, right? Because the kind of amputation I had on both my hands was a bit different, like in the size, the shape, and everything. It was just the case with a lot of people, and it just made it very difficult to wear and work around with it. Right. So I did not like that. But then
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to give prosthetics a fair chance before taking any decision
Mm-hmm.
towards the hand transplant. So I did go for the myoelectric prosthetics as well. And that was a disappointment. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm talking more about the disappointments than the positives, but
Yeah.
I genuinely feel that anyone who's lost both their forearms,
Mm-hmm.
prosthetics do not work well for them. And another issue is I can't really comment much for people who have had their amputation at the wrist level. So it might be a bit better. I
Mm-hmm.
really don't know. I'm just assuming this, but
Mm-hmm.
my level was just a 2 or 3 inches below the elbows.
Mm-hmm.
So it was not very convenient for me to use it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was an issue as well. And I mean, one of my first priority was to not be dependent on my
Yeah.
mother for
Yeah.
my personal hygiene
Yeah.
activities. I mean, anyone who's been through the
Yeah.
amputation would understand this feeling very well. of how you feel when you're dependent on someone else
Yeah.
for the most basic hygiene
Mm-hmm.
activities. And I mean, I'm lucky that I had a mom who used to tend to me and all of my needs. But again, that's something I wanted to do by myself.
Yeah.
And here in India, a lot of them are just water-based activities, your personal hygiene activities. So,
Mm-hmm.
electric hands, you can't put them in water.
Mm-hmm.
So that was very inconvenient.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Understand. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I was starting to seriously consider hand transplantation as a better option.
Yeah. Understand. Sure. As we know, 11 months later, after the incident, you received a phone call from the Amrita Institute of Medical Science about a family who
Mhm.
wanted to help you and take decision to donate their son's hands, yeah, for you, to you, so to say, yeah. And could you explain, please, uh, why did you made the decision and didn't you hesitate to accept the hands from a male donor?
Yeah. So I think for something of such a big surgery like a hand transplant, you need to have some kind of an internal drive to be able to, bear with it. And also because it just doesn't end at the surgery.
Mm-hmm.
People who have been through the hand transplant are very well aware that you have to undergo extensive rehabilitation for you to
Yeah.
gain decent amount of functionality in the hands, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it takes a lot from the person's end to be able to carry on with the physical rehabilitation, the medication, and every other thing that comes with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, it was not an easy decision,
Mm-hmm.
but having used the prosthetics, and I used to find it very disappointing, and I used to feel helpless when I used to wear
Mm-hmm.
them because I mean they were just for show. That's about it. And I had also paused my education for some time because of the accident,
Mm-hmm.
and so I really wanted to get back, finish my education,
Mm-hmm.
and for that I wanted to be independent again. And I was just 18. I really
Yeah.
couldn't think of leading my life that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these are the things that made me take the decision of undergoing the transplant. And coming to the part where you asked about acceptance, so I think when you've seen so much of helplessness uh, without having hands,
Mm-hmm.
I think like you want to be able to do things again for yourself.
Yeah.
At least that's where I came from. So acceptance was, I mean, I did have an acceptance already in my mind that yeah, it would be someone else's forearms that would be transplanted. I had some difficulty in wrapping my head around the fact that me undergoing a transplant would mean that someone has passed away, right? So that feeling was a bit difficult for me to
Yeah.
deal with in
Mm-hmm.
the initial months, and I used to almost feel guilty about that fact. But yeah, I like I mentioned, I'm grateful that
Mm-hmm.
I could actually undergo it, and yeah, acceptance was there as soon as I saw them for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
But the feeling that you get that feeling that, oh no, they are a part of your body, it doesn't come immediately. So
Mm-hmm.
that took some more time till I started becoming a bit
Yeah.
functional.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
slowly that feeling came as well. And yeah, now I don't feel much of a difference. I mean, it's been almost 9 years now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I think it feels a part of my body, and I don't consider it any different.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Shreya, you've met the donor family several times. Maybe you know it is forbidden in many countries. Uh, I would like to ask you to explain your decision. Yeah, why did you want to meet these people? And maybe you know why did want to see you?
Yeah. So it was just me who met them, right? They also donated their son's kidneys,
Yeah.
liver,
Mm-hmm.
and other organs too, but they did not meet them. There is restriction on those aspects. But
Mm-hmm.
hand transplant was very new in the country
Mm-hmm.
about 10 years ago. So there weren't strict rules regarding this
Mm-hmm.
at that point because it's just been I was the fourth one in the
Mm-hmm.
country. So and obviously it became a big news
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
of the kind of surgery it is. So and I mean it's not that difficult to decode because when there's some kind of organ donation, it does make it to the headlines as well in this country. So if
Mm-hmm.
someone is donating arms and there's just one person who's undergoing it,
Mm-hmm.
then it's not
Yeah.
that difficult. And yeah, eventually it was more of mine as well as my parents' decision that we should meet them once.
Mm-hmm.
So but then again, there was no hard and fast like rule from our side that we have to meet because
Mm-hmm.
they
Mm-hmm.
need their own time to grieve the loss of their son
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
So it we just expressed our wish to Dr. Iyer, and he just said,
Uh-huh.
we'll look into it because we have to honor their wishes first. So eventually, I met his mother and father after
Mm.
a few months. It was not immediate. So
Yeah. Understand.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and his mom was very emotional.
Mm-hmm.
I think she did touch my arms, and
Yeah.
she would
Yeah.
have felt that it's her son somewhere. That was an emotional moment.
Mm, yeah.
And his father, I always mention this thing. Uh, so there was some issue, and they couldn't donate their son's heart, right? And I think he mentioned that, my son, he was just 19 when he was quite young,
Mm-hmm.
just of my age.
Yeah.
And his father said that he was so young, his heart was in perfect condition due to some other transportation issues.
Mm-hmm.
It couldn't be used by someone else to get a new life.
Mm-hmm.
So that was very emotional for me to hear because you've just lost your son, but yet you're courageous enough to say it.
Yeah.
So that's how it was.
So to say, you see that a part of him is still
Yeah,
alive.
yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Through me as well as I don't know who the other people are who got the kidneys or liver, but yeah, they did donate his corneas as well.
Mm.
So yeah, he does live through quite a few people even now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She, you said in one of your interviews that your family, relatives, even friends took a pledge to donate the internal and external organ
Mhm. Yeah.
after the death. Uh, it is really worth telling about that. I have never heard about such
Yes.
stories. Yeah. Could you tell our viewers, please, what moved them to make that decision?
Yeah, so the first decision was taken by my parents. I
Mm-hmm.
had my surgery on 9th June, and I think on 12th or 13th, I mean, sorry, 9th August in 2017, and 12th or 13th of August, they made the decision by themselves. Uh, I was already in the hospital, I was in the ICU, but
Mm-hmm.
my parents went and took the pledge to be organ donors. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it was just the whole aspect that their child could get a second chance in life
Mm-hmm.
because of this noble cause. So no one had this conversation with them. It's just when you see this thing happening to your own child,
Yeah.
they thought that no, whatever it is, we would also like to donate eventually,
Mm-hmm.
come what may, natural death or some any other cause. Afterwards, we've also had an open discussion about it. And my parents have always told me that whatever it is, we want you to donate, whatever
Mm-hmm.
you can donate. Don't hold back on that. So that is their wish. And so did my friends eventually. I have had them tell me that no, we are signing up for this. I
Mm-hmm.
never went and told them, oh no, you have to sign up or anything. It's just
Mm-hmm.
them seeing that how much of a difference it has made to my life,
Mm-hmm.
and just understanding that it's a noble cause. It really helps people. Of course, hand transplant is not a life-saving surgery, right?
Yeah.
But it does alter one's life, I believe,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
other organs are definitely life-saving. So that's how like my family and friends did
Mm-hmm.
sign up for it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Thank you so much.
yes,
Shreya,
yeah,
were you able to continue your study after the hand transplantation, or did you have to change your major? Could you tell
yeah.
about that, please?
Yes, so I was actually pursuing my engineering when the
Mm-hmm.
accident happened,
Mm-hmm.
and I took a break of 3 years from my education
Uh-huh.
because the whole hand transplant and surgery, everything itself took me about 2.5 years. And here in India, we don't have a spring or a winter session, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's just one summer session wherein you go to the college. We don't have two cycles. So I had to wait for another 6 months, and I did change my major because of everything that had happened. I wanted to stay closer to my parents,
Mm-hmm.
so I lived with them, and over there I switched from engineering to economics.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I did my bachelor's in economics. I
Mm-hmm.
worked for 1 year, and then I went ahead and did my MBA from Indian Institute of Management, Calcutta, which
Mm-hmm.
is one of the most prestigious MBA colleges in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yes, I did complete my education, and
Mm-hmm.
currently I'm working in the equity markets.
Mm-hmm.
So I am as physically independent I have managed to become. I wanted to become financially independent as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, things have really turned around in the last decade
Mm-hmm.
from the accident to now living alone and yeah, being completely independent.
Mhm. Shreya, could you please tell about the challenges did you face while getting the education? What was the reaction of teachers and students to your appearance at the
Mm.
university, yeah, after the hand transplantation? And did you feel accepted by the student community?
See, 100% acceptance. I don't think even a normal human being gets it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's just we just come with this some amount of baggage with having a transplant that's visible. That's about it. So that's how I want to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it was not as bad or anything. I think it was just fine. It's also about my own mentality, right? How I want to project it upon. If
Mm-hmm.
I'm being sad and if I'm pitying myself, that's what I would get in return. I have never pitied myself for this. I'm rather proud of it, but at the same time, I'm a bit mindful about whom do I want to share it with. Because if I'm going to college, my sole motto was to complete my education,
Mm-hmm.
and as and how I made friends as when I used to, I mean, reveal what I've been through because I think they should be aware of it. That's only through that point of view is why I used to reveal. Otherwise, no, I used to not talk about it so openly.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, I had made it a point that wanted to write all my exams by myself, So
Mhm.
before going to college, I had done enough physical rehabilitation and
Mhm.
therapy. So my physiotherapist was really gracious enough to
Mhm.
sit with me throughout all the sessions, made sure that I started writing again. So I have not taken any kind of help from colleges when it came to giving these exams, or
Mhm.
having some kind of a different material or some kind of a special arrangement for me.
Mhm.
So yeah, that way it was an internal motivation to do everything by myself.
Mhm.
But when it comes to some kind of prejudice, there has been some amount of prejudice. I'm not
Mhm.
going to deny that. It I've had one or two really bad incidences in college,
Mhm.
but that's about it. I've only looked at those incidences in a way that they made me more stronger. Uh,
Mhm.
that's about it. I don't feel anything more than that about it
Mhm.
as of sorry.
Yeah. Shreya, you work in the office now.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, it would be interesting to know, do the patient or hand transplant patient, uh, is the hand transplant patient able to do the office work? I mean, to answer
Mhm.
phone calls, to meet clients,
Yeah, yeah.
to type on the keyboard, such things. Could you tell about
Yes.
it, please?
Yeah. So I mean, even before I went back to work for my college work and all, I was using my laptop as well
Mhm. Yeah.
for
Mm-hmm.
any kind of project or any kind of submissions we had.
Mm-hmm.
So in India, it's more of a hybrid education. Like, of course, you have the pen and paper exams, but for like assignments and everything, we do use online resources. And
Mm-hmm.
so it was fine. I mean, I learned again to use my laptop and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I always prefer to use a laptop which has a touch screen as well. It makes my life easier.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, technology has helped me a lot as
Mm-hmm.
well. So, I've not faced much of an issue. And whereas it comes to office laptop and all, over the time, I've also learned to handle even if touchscreen is not available and all, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the office laptop, I do operate everything. I do not have much of a difficulty. And I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of this like independence came because I lived alone. I've lived alone for the last 3 years. My
Mm-hmm.
parents are living in a different town. I live
Mm-hmm.
in a different city. So it makes you independent. It makes you mentally strong
Mm-hmm.
after you've been through such a surgery. Of course, a lot of people do live away, but I think if you've had a hand transplant and you have to like rebuild everything, you have to think of every little aspect in your life. So yeah, I have had enough amount of experience in living alone. So
Mm-hmm.
office work is not that difficult or anything. I commute to the office alone every day. I do
Mm-hmm.
use the public transport. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, if it's like there's some difficulty or anything, we do have a good like cab hailing platforms and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's quite handy. And along with that, the office work, making phone calls, attending meetings, I have
Mm-hmm.
not really had much of an issue with these things either.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Understood.
because I've been living alone and doing most of my work. So
Mm-hmm. Shreya, it is not a secret that we hand transplant patients have to take immunosuppression
mhm.
medications every day. May I ask you, do you need special work conditions, or do you feel some side effects of immunosuppression therapy, such as fatigue, exhaustion, headache? Does it interfere with your work, or what would you answer on this
Yeah,
question?
yeah. Yeah, so like my first year after hand transplant was not smooth. I had a lot of issues, but eventually they subsided and it did get better. Except there was this one instance when I was doing a job before my MBA also. Between my undergraduation and my MBA, I did work for 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
So I had some issues with like my tonsils and my uh, one of the medicines was causing hypergingivity, which is swelling of my gums.
Yeah.
So I was not able to eat my food properly. Everything had to be put in a mixie. and I was basically on liquid food for quite a few months. So that was one problem that I had to
Mm-hmm.
face in between. But yeah, that's about it. Other than that, exhaustion and
Mm-hmm.
everything, I think like it's all in the mind, right? I
Mm-hmm.
definitely feel that even now.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe also I'm still like in my 20s, so maybe I don't feel it yet. But again, somewhere I do feel that the people of my own age are slightly more energetic than me
Mm-hmm.
because I've already been taking immunosuppressants for close
Mm-hmm.
to a decade now. So maybe like slight amount of it is catching up to me, or I don't know. I mean, still not affecting my functionality or my work as much even now. I'm able to do everything. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think I can comment more only after a few more years, and
Mm-hmm.
we can see how it pans out. But as of now, I think I'm doing just fine.
Mm-hmm.
And with immunosuppressants and all, I'm a bit more mindful about what I'm eating. I try to stay more active because that
Mm-hmm.
helps. And yeah, maybe that's why I think almost a decade and I'm still doing fine.
Mm. But you don't need special working conditions. You work as everyone in the office.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I don't have any kind of special working condition. I
Mm-hmm.
go to office 5 days a week, and I do have long working hours for now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't request for any kind of special treatment or like some
Mm-hmm.
kind of exemption for the working and all. I don't. I uh, I do leave my home at 7 a.m. in the morning, and I'm back at 7:30 in the evening. So
Mm-hmm.
we have comparatively longer working hours in this country
Mm-hmm.
compared to a lot of other countries.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I have not asked for any kind of exception with these things. And yes, I also do have a client-facing role. So 2 to 3 days of the 5 days, I would be in a client office working with them. So no, it has really not affected my work life as much or anything.
Mm-hmm. Understand. Thank you. Shreya, at the beginning of our or at the beginning, oh, excuse me, at the end, yeah, at the end of our conversation, I'd like to ask you to share your message or your slogan with people who don't see any way out of the life deadlock. Please tell the quote or that very encouraging message you
Yeah,
said in one of your interviews. I like it very much. Please.
yeah. So I think I read this quote uh, quite a few years ago when all of
Mm-hmm.
these things were happening that
Mm-hmm.
he who has a why to live will find almost anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
So, despite the uncertainty, despite not knowing how my life would pan out of the accident, I think being determined and most importantly, having internal drive towards achieving something else in your life would actually drive you to,
Mm-hmm.
accept and be committed towards this whole process. So, and that's what has been a driving force. For me, when I was lying in the ICU post my accident, a lot of my internal motivation came from the fact that I really wanted to go ahead, complete my education, and become financially independent. I really did not want to depend on anyone, be it for my daily activities or for my daily sustenance as well. It all was an internal drive that I had, and that actually makes you to push your body.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and with respect to transplant as well, it pushes you to do things, it pushes you to become functional. So I think it helps a lot. And of course, I think any of this wouldn't have been possible if I wouldn't have had a great support through my parents,
Yeah. Yeah.
through Dr. Iyer and his team. I think they've been absolutely gracious in the kind of support and care that they've provided. Um a huge part of credit goes to them. because I used to not really like hospitals
Yeah.
and all for the kind of suffering I had to see or go through post the accident. But after my transplant, I actually lived uh, in Kochi, where the hospital is situated,
Mhm.
to finish my physical rehabilitation. The kind of support and care I have received is unmatched. So it did help me a lot to
Mhm.
become independent again. And yes, of course, I'll be grateful to uh, my donors' parents, who,
Mhm.
despite their grief,
Yeah.
they have contributed immensely, and it will always remain that way till my last breath. So,
Yeah.
yeah, other than being determined, having an internal drive and motivation, I think a few of these external factors have been uh, immensely helpful towards my growth, and they've contributed a lot towards what I've managed to become despite all the setbacks I had through the
Yeah.
accident. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Shreya, thank you very much for your participation in the patient initiative Raise Awareness About VCA. Thank you very much for your time. I wish you all the best and every success. And of course, strong health and
yeah,
strength in your hands.
yeah,
Yeah. Uh,
yes, yes,
yeah.
yeah.
I think
Thank you
we will
so much,
stay.
Vasily.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I think we stay in touch, and yeah, I will keep you informed about our activities in the future. Yeah.
Yes, yes, definitely. I would love to stay in touch, and please do inform me about any kind of new and helpful sessions you're coming up with. And I also wanted to, appreciate the kind of work you're doing, helping patients around the world by doing these sessions. Uh, when I mean, you have been through this a lot earlier than I have, so you're much more aware of it. But yet, like 10 years back, also these kind of things or help was not available to people who've undergone amputation, and the kind of work you're doing is phenomenal. I really appreciate it. So
Thank
thank
you.
you so much for doing this.
Yeah. Sure. Today is 20th anniversary of my surgery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 20 years have passed since that day in my life. Yeah. Okay.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Congratulations, though.
Thank
20
you.
years.
Yeah, 20 years. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank
Great.
Shay, I wish you a wonderful day and only good news. And of course, kind regards to your parents and to your friends. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much, Vasily. Have a nice day. And
Yeah.
thank you so much for
Thank you.
conducting this
Yeah.
call. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Take care.
Yeah. You too. Take
Yeah.
care.